streaming. Live 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I usually start at 14, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Greetings, Spear Beings, greetings, Supreme Being. Welcome to Universal Peace Television. So, I'm checking if this broadcast is now live. I've changed some settings which cut off my previous broadcast, so I'll have to remove the fragments. Turn to display capture. Display capture. Okay. So there we can see that I'm really live, and then I can let this go because it takes extra CPU. More about being cut off later. So let's start with this more important little speech by President Donald Trump about the two-state solution world war.
Universal peace now. This is Donald Trump. Prevent a two-state solution world war by any means necessary. Included in the two-state solution agreement that the allies of Israel and Palestine may not intervene if they go to war with each other to prevent a two-state solution world war. Universal peace now. Peace to you, well, Rick. Thank you for your idea for universal peace. Universal peace now.
Good idea, yeah, I like it. Much better. That mutually assured destruction in a 7-year nuclear winter. Of course, I've also selected these articles about Trump not mentioning the two-state solution while visiting Israel. It's apparently not on his agenda, but he already made clear that he agrees with whatever they want to do. So then why should he make it a subject, basically? And other than that, it may be out of his hands what the UN does, and what it's clear Abbas supports it, Macron as well. Don't know why that has anything to do with it, but yeah, whatever. I'm a bit pissed that my previous broadcast was fragmented, and I've switched from 1080p to 720p. And I've switched it from ultra fast to super fast, and now the CPU is 100. We're not broadcasting, well, sometimes it was much lower, and then it can give problems again. Perhaps I should, well, it's still 0 dropped frames, so let's hope that this is stable. But first, more important stuff. So parts of the previous broadcast are gone, they will never be retrieved, and I might not remember everything I said, but let's do this.
So you must kill all believers where you find them is allowed as well? Get the balance right. The non-religion of peace, selling Qurans is still allowed, isn't it? Or is quoting the Quran allowed but writing the opposite is not allowed? You could argue it should both be forbidden. Jihad has been declared in many places. Fuck Bones two-state solution world war plans, prevent 7-year nuclear winter, add to agreement allies of Israel and Palestine, Russia, may not help them if they go to war with each other. Fuck Jesuits Lindus and Oval? No NWO. Anyone still on its side dies. I don't give a damn who you are. Dracula means son of the devil in Romanian. Foxy DC. Deaf to old Jews can be interpreted in many different ways. For example, saying the word deaf to old Jewish people because they are programmed to listen. Shema, the main Jewish prayer, means listen, in the sense of be deaf. Jewish people, do not help to enslave yourself. It's a neural network that serves the pedo elite, the Jesuits and Masons, and is trying to play you out against the Goyim and the enemies of the Jesuits. Deaf in the sense of excellent, you cannot see how it's written when spoken. Deaf to old Jews, not listening to people that are Jewish. Death to old Jews, saying death to old Jewish in the sense of kill old Goyim or in the sense of wishing old Jews death. It's up you die by quote, it can all be satire. Deaf to old Jews can be interpreted in many different ways. For example, saying the word deaf to old Jewish people because they are programmed to listen. Shema, the main Jewish prayer, means listen, in the sense of be deaf. Jewish people, do not help to enslave yourself. It's a neural network that serves the pedo elite, the Jesuits and Masons, and is trying to play you out against the Goyim and the enemies of the Jesuits. Deaf in the sense of excellent, you cannot see how it's written when spoken. Deaf to old Jews, not listening to people that are Jewish. Death to old Jews, saying death to old Jewish in the sense of kill old Goyim or in the sense of wishing old Jews death. It's up you die by quote, it can all be satire. De-religionization now, universal peace now. Ulrich Kaufman. Spam could be a CIA robot to erase certain chat messages. Ulrich Kaufman. Peace to all in this chat. Unite SpaceX. Peace? Brother, all religion is war, all religion is peace equals satanic inversion. 33% of us are Christian, 20% of us are Muslim if we are to believe Wikimedia Commons. Alex Jones, David K., Eric Phelps, Lisa Haven, Christopher Green Arshills. Controlled opposition.
So death to all Jews would not help in reality, because there are loads of Muslims and they are not the only ones depopulating the earth, so I do not advocate it in reality. And if they do, then that's illegal and they can end up in jail for it if they do.
Anyone in this chat that believes ISIS is not Mossad? Ulrich Kaufman. CIA robots are posting in this chat. POW, air, gun, controls. Phil Douglas. If you were a Jew, you would know how it feels to have Trump selling weapons to Israel's sworn enemy. Chris W. Make Arabia great again. Trump almost never makes a speech error. Is he hearing a voice in his head that tells him what to say? Perhaps it really is a DoD bot, a God bot, the Uber Quantum. Criminals often do not want to be filmed. The last known impact of an object.
So I am for getting rid of all religion through the means of education. With education, the fact that the Bible is a collection of plagiarized myths rolled into monotheism. So the speech errors and Daffy Duck programming is all MI5, CIA, etc., controlled by the Jesuits that demolished the WTC by crashing these planes into the WTC with wireless energy. These were fly-by-wire planes, and also with explosives. Thermate, a patented form of thermite, was used, and the then superior general of the Jesuits gave the order to demolish it. According to Eric John Phelps, he's controlled opposition, flat earther, so they mix the truths. For example, the Apollo moon landings were a hoax, the WTC was demolished, etc., with lies such as shape-shifting reptilians and the earth is flat. Obvious lies that are easy to disprove. Okay.
Of 10 kilometers, 6 miles, or more in diameter was at the Cretaceous Paleogene extinction event 66 million years ago. The minimum impact velocity on Earth is 11 kilometers per second, with asteroid impacts averaging around 17 kilometers per second. Hitler shut down the Rothschild banks, kicked all Freemasons out of the ranks, opened up the lodges for the public to see, freed Germany from Jewish usury. Eric W., some call it Goyim Revolution, possibly controlled opposition, flat earther, think tank, think RPG, go nuclear, waste, the house of NASA. How can you be not triggered? Possibly illegal remarks in fast-moving chat of the video. Live. President Donald Trump Israel speech. Press conference Netanyahu. President Rivlin. Jerusalem snoot boop someone plaza assassinate Trump. Let's love rules. John Alexei? Happy Armageddon? The earth is cubical. LOL. John Alexei Ulrich. It makes sense. I'm into Vedic cosmology. Response to something else I wrote. Hybrid insects are real, and so is the T4 nanobot. We will eventually get rid of all religion through education. Destroy the voice of God weapon. Do not kill all believers wherever you may find them. ITS illegal Jesuits DID 9/11, not a real job. ISIS is an American plot to destabilize the region, says Iran. Time.com. I have always doubted the source of the ISIS is Mossad claim was Snowden. It does not matter what the source is, only if it is true. Without evidence no one can convince me either way. Snowden and Assange may both be controlled opposition, labeling things and possibly lies that they want to spread as classified. I do not know if there is any evidence to prove this theory wrong. If there is, Skype Pro Logic 999. Snowden confirms that al-Baghdadi was trained by Mossad Siyasat. Park. It's just psychological warfare, or not. The best way to control opposition is to destroy it ourselves. Lol. The Lenin quote is, the best way to control opposition is to lead it ourselves. NSA doc reveals ISIS leader al-Baghdadi is U.S., British and Israeli intelligence asset. NSA documents add more detail to plan to destabilize Middle East. Kernimo, Infowars.com.
So you can always Skype me. I'm ProLogic999 on Skype.
July 19, 2014. ISIS, creation of the CIA. The Alex Jones channel. 387,367 views. Published on June 23, 2014. Putin tells everyone exactly who created ISIS. Truthstream Media. 11,807,930 views. The Jewish people were expelled from many countries, but so were the Jesuits. Though there is an anti-Semitic movement, I have not found any anti-Jesuit movement. Nazis are not purely anti-Semitic. The story goes they mix in racism, homophobia and extermination of mentally impaired people, which are pretty expensive to keep but create jobs. Any person can become mentally impaired, and there are ways to raise your IQ. There should be a movement that stands up to the people that are trying to depopulate the earth, against the infiltration of our government by Jesuits and Masons that should be rounded up and arrested. Anti-racism, anti-homophobia, and that exposes the fact that Islamophobia does not exist because there are 164 jihad verses in the Quran, and therefore it is not an irrational fear. If you do not regulate the influx of immigrants, Sharia law will be imposed upon you within your own country. Stop Islamization and expose religion. We need de-religionization through education. A movement by and for the people, that helps to protect and serve the taxpayers. Anti-torture, anti-government corruption. onawaytoday.wordpress.com. Exit Brexitor, Nexit, fuck updates. Better right use sometime or otherwise they blow up themselves as well. While just wondering if they used a timer. Warn the world grave imminent danger, not just WW3, must see important spread intel. Ariana Grande cries after Donald Trump becomes president. YouTube. If there are no pictures of dead people nor video, then I do not believe it happened. Really? No Rasta flag in the emojis. Conspiracy? Fact. LOL. C33. Jihad in Islamabad. All alphabet agencies controlled by the Jesuit Adolfo Nicolas. For our twisted question mark at Ulrich Kaufman, they were detonated outside the security perimeter, because they couldn't breach security. The metal detector perimeter? I guess they can make explosives without metal, and the Jesuits and Masons don't care. They want to depop Earth. Control the 23 factors that control aging, invest in that instead of fake mission to Mars again. It's okay if your legs fall off, normal side effect, but you need a prescription, it's normal. 20,000 people, one video drive out ISIS, give them jeeps. Weed didn't start the fire. The ISIS rocket attack on Israel foiled as missiles shot down. Daily Mail. Attack, or was there another one? Perhaps we need to disturb the balance instead. Dangerous theory or not? Nordic Muslim, actually it's garlic and honey combined. Mr. VTech? We intend to turn Europe into a mixed race of Asians and Negroes ruled over by the Jews. Count Kalergi Kaudenhove, 1925. Louis Cat? Ulrich sounds like an axe murderer name. Louis Cat? Ulrich sounds like an axe murderer name. I bought an axe yesterday. How can you know that, Louis Cat? Not planning to kill anyone though. Other things for that. You can make this sub. The no option illusion. Satanic noise Rivni? I inverted it myself. The fruit of a slum god. Missing blood transfusion children. This includes a picture of a little boy who was at the Ariana Grande concert. Ariana Granada LOL. Sacked. Sounds a bit like Shriana Grande. 20,000 people in the stadium, not one picture or video of the dead people. Are they sure it was not an exercise? From the Fox News live chat, fake Muslim stories have gone viral after the fake Ariana Grande Manchester terrorist attack. Fake Muslim destroyed after false flag Ariana Grande attack. Fuck the X Factor trolls. The MSM can go die in a ditch with their Zionist NWO rejects, so no one actually believes the Manchester attack was real. They just pretend for the voices in their heads. Names of the chatters left out to protect them. Microwave psychosis. About 50% of the people in the chat believed the attack was real actually. Alex Jones left out the Jesuits did Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Their nuclear bomb was called Trinity as well. False flag fears over US mock nuclear attack today. Any news or comments posted in this article or video or parts thereof may be satire just in case they lied, and their lie is a crime. Based in your face, eyes. Louis XIV. I have always been against the DU war crime, DE weapon torture and the use of tactical nukes in Syria. Now we get our ISIS reward. I have always been against the DU war crime, DE weapon torture and the use of tactical nukes in Syria because it creates what most consider terrorists. Now we get our ISIS reward. Fuck the responsible leaders, not whole countries. Those that want to depopulate you or your enemy. Arrest all members of secret societies. Islam cannot win in predominantly non-Muslim countries. This is why we need to regulate the influx of immigrants. Islam is based on the lie that God exists, therefore it cannot win. I think it's cool that people can write anything in this chat, what they truly think or believe. Terror is TS. Do not lower yourself to their level. Get the responsible ones, not innocent civilians. Just as drive them out equals give them jeeps. Two wrongs do not make a right. The judge knows not to convict anyone without a fair trial, not to redeem a murder from the death penalty. Only death penalty for people that killed more than 3, and only when the murder has been proven beyond any reasonable doubt. Marvarin ? At Tanya. Leonora Freud also wanted to fuck his mom and claimed that he subconsciously wanted to suck dick. Ulrich Kaufman. People cannot help their sexual preference. How well they behave counts if you're judging someone or whatever. Religion may only be talked about to expose it. Theory. Conspiracy facts are not theories. The Bible is a collection of plagiarized polytheistic myths rolled into monotheism, which proves God does not exist. Mike Hancock? Ulrich, give us that Big Bang shit again. It makes sense. A fluid in space becomes a sphere, so our planet was a fluid mass that cooled down, abiogenesis, and now we're there. One cannot fool all the people all the time. Only if total brain control with synthetic telepathy is a possibility. It is no believe the Earth is oblong spherical but a fact, and flat earthers are controlled opposition shills that want to cover up the Apollo moon landings are a hoax. For example, the lies the Earth is flat and shape-shifting reptilians are real are mixed in with the truth they want everyone to disbelieve. They could take them out with their DU weapon. Believe me, drones are obsolete. All the more reason to help prevent WW3. U.S. plutocracy is running for pres takes a lot of money, but you can change it into a democracy. Where there is a will, there is a way, my mother used to say. Love is eyes wide open. Protection. Lawyer B. Plutocracy, government by the wealthy. Pluto gives wealth to all who ask. It is how that wealth is used that renders the judgment of Pluto, Satan. God awaits the judgment. Basic forms of government power structures. Fuck the responsible leaders, not whole countries. Those that want to depopulate you are your enemy. Arrest all members of secret societies. Islam cannot win in predominantly non-Muslim countries. Why we need to regulate the influx of immigrants. Islam is based on the lie that God exists, therefore it cannot win. I think it's cool that people can write anything in this chat, what they truly think or believe. Terror is TS. Do not lower yourself to their level. Get the responsible ones, not innocent civilians. Just as drive them out equals give them jeeps. Two wrongs do not make a right. The judge knows not to convict anyone without a fair trial, not to redeem a murder from the death penalty. Only death penalty for people that killed more than 3, and only when the murder has been proven beyond any reasonable doubt. Marverin ? At Tanya Leonora Freud also wanted to fuck his mom and claimed that he subconsciously wanted to suck dick. Ulrich Kaufman. People cannot help their sexual preference. How well they behave counts if you're judging someone or whatever. Religion may only be talked about to expose it. Theory. Conspiracy facts are not theories. The Bible is a collection of plagiarized polytheistic myths rolled into monotheism, which proves God does not exist. Mike Hancock? Ulrich, give us that Big Bang shit again. It makes sense. A fluid in space becomes a sphere, so our planet was a fluid mass that cooled down, abiogenesis, and now we're there. One cannot fool all the people all the time. Only if total brain control with synthetic telepathy is a possibility. It is no believe the Earth is oblong spherical, but a fact, and flat earthers are controlled opposition shills that want to cover up the Apollo moon landings are a hoax. For example, the lies the Earth is flat and shape-shifting reptilians are real are mixed in with the truth they want everyone to disbelieve. They could take them out with their DEW weapon. Believe me, drones are obsolete. All the more reason to help prevent WW3. U.S. plutocracy is running for pres takes a lot of money, but you can change it into a democracy. Where there is a will, there is a way, my mother used to say. Love is eyes wide open. Protection. Lawyer B. Plutocracy, government by the wealthy. Pluto gives wealth to all who ask. It is how that wealth is used that renders the judgment of Pluto, Satan. God awaits the judgment. Basic forms of government power structure: separation, associated state, dominion, chiefdom, federalism, federation, confederation, devolution, integration, empire, hegemony, unitary state, administrative division, power source, democracy, power of many, direct representative, semi-others, oligarchy, power of few, aristocracy, military junta, plutocracy, stratocracy, timocracy, theocracy, critarchy, paerticracy, technocracy, autocracy, power of one, despotism, illiberal democracy, semi-authoritarian dictatorship, hybrid xenocracy, power ideology, monarchy versus republic, socio-political ideologies, absolute constitutional, directorial, legalist, Chinese, parliamentary, semi-presidential, presidential, authoritarian versus libertarian, socio-economic ideologies, capitalism, colonialism, communism, distributism, feudalism, socialism, anarchism versus statism, civil liberties, ideologies, anarchy, monarchy, totalitarianism, global versus local, geocultural ideologies, central city state, national unity, world, and these are just the known ones. Centralization versus decentralization, power to the pedo versus power to the people. No generalizations. The ideal form of government is a hedonistic autarchic aristocracy, in the sense of the best positions are taken by the people with the highest grades, and people help to bestow maximum fulfillment upon their fellow human beings and themselves in society. Theory: you have two cows, you have to chaos. Ulrich: in reality most of us do not have cows. If we'd all become vegetarian, the world's hunger problem would be solved, because it takes up to 16 kilograms of grain to produce 1 kilogram of cancer hormone cow meat. Forbes disagrees. The cancer hormone cadaver meat selling industry is a $1 billion industry. It's scientifically proven living vegetarian is healthiest, but you have to make sure you eat enough foods with vitamin B12 or take methylcobalamin spray, B12 vitamin spray, otherwise it is unhealthier and even deadly to be vegetarian. Top 10s of foods with B12 online, on the, now, huge internet. The World Wide Web. I think the key is taking the best of all basic forms of government and creating a new form of government. There are totally awesome people in the world, which gives me a good feeling, some hope, a feeling of love, happiness and safety. The only thing necessary for I think the key is taking the best of all basic forms of government and creating a new form of government. There are totally awesome people in the world, which gives me a good feeling, some hope, a feeling of love, happiness and safety. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Edmund Burke: men never do evil so completely and cheerfully as when they do it from religious conviction. Blaise Pascal, Fences. Appalled by Manchester Ariana Grande attack, arrest the directed energy weapon torturers. It's done by the House of Orange Juice. Jew World Order, yes you it now. A terrorist attack. My video fake MSM stories have gone viral after the fake Ariana Grande Manchester terrorist attack has only 86 views, though it was posted before the video Manchester Ariana Grande fake bombing, which has 38,902 views, 24/5/2017. This proves something beyond any reasonable doubt. Live, Manchester Ariana Grande fake false flag terrorist attack, sweet black.
So you can hear the pedo, homo, necro, Jesuit cannibals are selectively blocking the speech engine. They took out the word proves anything beyond any reasonable doubt. So then we can continue with the speech engine.
Power, Garanicola. New discovery shows pre-human hominids in Europe before African non-Western immigrants consume 59% of Denmark's tax revenue. Flips. Duterte declares martial law to fight ISIS in Mindanao. May 24, 2017. Guardian. Outright weaponizing irony to spread fascism. More shalal, chick on my dick. How did they identify the Ariana Grande bomber if he blew himself up? Jew World Order, yes you it now. A terrorist attack. My video fake MSM stories have gone viral after the fake Ariana Grande Manchester terrorist attack has only 86 views, though it was posted before the video Manchester Ariana Grande fake bombing, which has 38,902 views, 24/5/2017. This proves something beyond any reasonable doubt. Live, Manchester Ariana Grande fake false flag terrorist attack, sweet black power, Garanicola. New discovery shows pre-human hominids in Europe before African non-Western immigrants consume 59% of Denmark's tax revenue. Flips. Duterte declares martial law to fight ISIS in Mindanao. May 24, 2017. Guardian. Outright weaponizing irony to spread fascism. More shalal, chick on my dick. How did they identify the Ariana Grande bomber if he blew himself up? Ariana Grande concert insurance fraud. Manchester Arena hoax pays riches. Johnny Supertramp 2 one day ago. 5,737 views. This terrorism hoax pays out big to the promoters and artists. Typical Freemason insurance fraud. New. Snow. Then it's not so far away from Dr. Ruth. These nasty kids need to be eaten. From. Drink new blood. Iggy Pop. Possible next ISIS attacks based on psychic premonitions, not visions. Paris, France. Boston. Arlington. Lyon, Washington, big one promised by ISIS according to MSM, Westfalen, Breda, Friesland, Amsterdam, Tilburg, Rotterdam, Apeldoorn, Niedersachsen, Sicily, Rome, Cairo. I'd say Boston is next if I had to guess. Dome of Massachusetts State House, Boston perhaps, some kind of dome, the Dome in Boston. Music Room in London perhaps less likely, Vatican in Rome. The tomb of Skull and Bones, less likely if they are Masons, Jesuit-controlled or Mossad, based on amount of Muslims in the USA, New York, Ohio, Illinois, California. Ariana Grande concert terrorism bomb hoax is a fireworks cannon, hoax. Johnny Supertramp 2 Manchester Arena bomb hoax and Cicada 3301, 22 dead, Manchester bombing false flag. dead victim is alive. Lift the veil. Manchester Arena hoax crisis actor pushing the agenda. Anthony 2B backup channel. Manchester Arena bombing, false flag psyop. The inconsistencies in the official story. Pretty good video. The dude reminds me of the Coldplay singer. Bomber age, 22. Date of bombing, 22 May. Number of dead, 22. 3 times 22. GM police, genetically modified police of Greater Manchester. Nuclear muscle Trump haters are terrorists. Mike Hancock? Ulrich see something shoot? Jew world order, yes you it now. A terrorist attack. My video fake MSM stories have gone viral after the fake Ariana Grande Manchester terrorist attack has only 86 views, though it was posted before the video Manchester Ariana Grande fake bombing, which has 38,902 views, 24/5/2017. This proves something beyond any reasonable doubt. Live, Manchester Ariana Grande fake false flag terrorist attack, sweet black power, Garanicola. New discovery shows pre-human hominids in Europe before African non-Western immigrants consume 59% of Denmark's tax revenue. Flips, Duterte declares martial law to fight ISIS in Mindanao. May 24, 2017. Guardian.
So I'm reading this piece of text because I've been busy with the speakers and pieces of it here were missing. I don't know if they were also missing in the broadcast. So it's just to make sure that everything's read out, and then perhaps you can notice which words they are trying to block with the wireless energy technology.
Outright weaponizing irony to spread fascism. More shell chick on my dick. How did they identify the Ariana Grande bomber if he blew himself up? Ariana Grande concert insurance fraud. Manchester Arena hoax pays riches. Johnny Supertramp 2 one day ago 5,737 views. This terrorism hoax pays out big to the promoters and artists. Typical Freemason insurance fraud. New. Snow. Then it's not so far away from Dr. Ruth. These nasty kids need to be eaten. From Drink New Blood. Iggy Pop. Possible next ISIS attacks based on psychic premonitions, not visions. Paris, France. Boston, Arlington, Lyon, Washington. Big one promised by ISIS according to MSM. Westfalen, Breda, Friesland, Amsterdam, Tilburg, Rotterdam, Apeldoorn, Niedersachsen, Sicily, Rome, Cairo. I'd say Boston is next if I had to guess. Dome of Massachusetts State House, Boston perhaps. Some kind of dome. The Dome in Boston. Music Room in London perhaps less likely. Vatican in Rome. The tomb of Skull and Bones. Less likely if they are Masons. Jesuit controlled or Mossad. Based on amount of Muslims in the USA, New York, Ohio, Illinois, California. Ariana Grande concert terrorism bomb hoax is a fireworks cannon hoax. Johnny Supertramp 2 Manchester Arena bomb hoax and Cicada 3301, 22 dead. Manchester bombing false flag, dead victim is alive. Lift the veil. Manchester Arena hoax crisis actor pushing the agenda. Anthony 2B backup channel. Manchester Arena bombing, false flag psyop. The inconsistencies in the official story. Pretty good video. The dude reminds me of the Coldplay singer. Bomber age, 22. Date of bombing, 22 May. Number of dead, 22. 3 times 22. GM police, genetically modified police of Greater Manchester. Nuclear muscle Trump haters are terrorists. Mike Hancock? Ulrich see something shoot? Something? Do you mean illegal heroin? Don't any of you know where ISIS will strike next? The sick ambitions of a caliphate bent on carnage. Chilling map predicts where ISIS will seize new land, strike the West with lone wolf attacks and awaken sleeper cells. Oh, before the end of Ramadan, ISIS announced it will target Western countries like UK, France, Spain and Italy. Institute for the Study of War says it correctly predicted ISIS would execute mass casualty attack on Tunisia and a Shia mosque in the Middle East. ISIS militant Saifuddin Rezghi killed 38, including 18 Britons, when he opened fire on tourists on Tunisian beach. At almost the same time, An ISIS suicide bomber blew himself up in a Shia mosque in Kuwait, killing at least 27. Extremists will also unleash its dangerous terror cells in Southeast Asian countries like Malaysia, the Philippines. Combination of 4 surveys found that 42 million Muslims in Arab states feel somewhat positively towards ISIS. The country is almost entirely Muslim, but ISW also predicts that ISIS will mastermind lone wolf attacks on countries with smaller Muslim populations like the UK.
So I'm gonna make some Budwig and I'll put it on the image slideshow. That's this one. Oh yeah. How real. So how did they film that lunar lander? Taking off.
United States, Canada and Australia. Its experts claim the countries ISIS has announced as targets are England, France, Italy, Spain, the United States, the Caucasus region of southern Russia, Algeria, Libya, Egypt, Iran, Yemen, Afghanistan and Pakistan. dailymaily.co.uk. We have to think about how to bring an end to all terrorism. I think it's possible with synthetic telepathy, which is being abused. Power corrupts almost always. The penis in me? No, it's repeat after me. 9/11 was an inside joke. Dial, the horse, the bars, the force, a la-dee-da, a la-dee-day. Ice is cold, see I ate it. The goyim knows. I didn't see that many child transfusions. Love is near this ass turds, Womenchester, Manchester, a Jewish, Polish, homosexual, pedophile. I didn't see that many child transfusions. Love is near this ass turds, Womenchester, Manchester, a Jewish, Polish, homosexual, pedophile, necrophile, cannibal, Nazi, multiple offender, terrorist. Again, I lol it all. I am O law, the law is me. I am totally and utterly assimilated, the way everybody is supposed to be, he. And everybody believes me, my cup overflows, boo-hoo. Did you know? Go zones are zones to have sex in. Jinimus Cabbage Hill, South Park expose Scientology's biggest secret / Sirius XM. Europe as a whole could make a new law to regulate the influx of immigrants. Nation's first ever public satanic monument approved church militant - May 22, 2017, two-state solution conspicuously absent from Trump's agenda in Israel. Algeminer - May 24, 2017, jns.org. During his meeting with Palestinian Authority, PA, President Mahmoud Abbas on Tuesday, and in speeches throughout the day, U.S. President Donald Trump notably omitted any mention of a two-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Trump made no mention of two-state solution. Eretz Shiva - May 23, 2017. Chief Foreign Envoy Oded Revivi of the Council of Judea and Samaria praised U.S. President Trump's statements in Bethlehem, noting that the two-state solution was not even mentioned by Trump, even though it and its companion concept of Israeli, how renewed violence in Israel and Palestine could bring us closer to a two-state solution. Slate magazine, two-state solution, world war not mentioned by Trump in Israel. Jesuits WW3 agenda, Bones. Two-state solution, world war not mentioned by Trump in Israel. Jesuits WW3 agenda, Bones.
Okay, then we can move to the article. Two-state solution conspicuously absent from on the algemeiner.com.
May 24, 2017, 10:23 a.m. 02 solution conspicuously absent from Trump's agenda in Israel. Avatar by Adam Abrams, jns.org. President Donald Trump and PA President Mahmoud Abbas in Bethlehem, Twitter/RT_com, JNS.org, during his meeting with Palestinian Authority, PA, President Mahmoud Abbas on Tuesday, and in speeches throughout the day, U.S. President Donald Trump notably omitted any mention of a two-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. In fact, Trump rebuked Palestinian leaders in a joint press conference with Abbas in Bethlehem, saying, "Peace can never take root in an environment where violence is tolerated, funded and even rewarded," referring to stipends that the PA pays to terrorists and their families. Despite this, Trump also pledged his support for renewed Israeli-Palestinian peace negotiations. May 25, 2017, 12:45 p.m. 0 New state-of-the-art Israeli Medical Center in West Bank will serve area's Jewish and Arab residents alike. JNS.org. The One Israel Fund held a groundbreaking ceremony on Thursday for its new Binyamin Medical Center, BMC, the first. "I am truly hopeful that America can help Israel and the Palestinians forge peace, and bring new hope to the region and its people," Trump said. "I also firmly believe that if Israel and the Palestinians can make peace, it can begin a process of peace all throughout the Middle East, and that will be an amazing accomplishment." Noting how Trump did not mention Palestinian statehood or a two-state solution in his public remarks with Abbas, Likud Knesset member Ofer Acunis said, "This is a huge achievement, on a historic scale, and a big win for anyone opposed to the mistaken and dangerous idea of a Palestinian terror state in the heart of Israel." In his meetings with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and President Reuven Rivlin on Monday, Trump also discussed the peace process without mentioning a two-state solution. Further, the U.S. leader did not bring up the issue of sovereignty over the city of Jerusalem, which both Israel and the Palestinians claim as their capital. Trump initially expressed openness to alternatives to a two-state solution in February, during a meeting with Netanyahu at the White House. Breaking with America's long-standing exclusive support for two states, Trump said at the time, "I'm looking at two-state and one-state, and I like the one that both parties like. I can live with either one." Yet the White House sent mixed signals regarding the Trump administration's official policy on the conflict, seemingly acknowledging the existence of Palestine while simultaneously recognizing Israeli sovereignty over Jerusalem. In its official itinerary for Trump's visit to Israel and the disputed territories, the White House referred to Abbas as the leader of Palestine, which could be construed as a form of recognition of an independent Palestinian state. Meanwhile, ahead of Trump's meeting with Netanyahu in Jerusalem on Monday, a live-streamed White House schedule stated that Trump would deliver remarks in Jerusalem, Israel. This could have been interpreted as recognizing Israel's sovereignty over the Holy City, despite Trump himself never affirming a change in U.S. policy. Trump's two-day visit to the Jewish state came immediately before the Israeli holiday of Jerusalem Day, which this year marks the 50th anniversary of Israel's reunification of the Holy City during the Six-Day War. Since 1967, the international community, including the U.S., has refused to officially recognize Eastern Jerusalem and its Jewish holy sites as part of Israel. During Trump's press conference with Abbas in Bethlehem, the PA leader reiterated the long-held Palestinian position that peace with Israel is conditioned on the creation of a Palestinian state within the pre-1967 lines, with its capital in eastern Jerusalem. Abbas also said that the Palestinian struggle is not with the Jewish religion, asserting that the fundamental problem is with the occupation, the settlements and Israel's failure to recognize Palestine. The PA, however, does not recognize Israel as a Jewish state, and has repeatedly refused to do so. Trump's meeting with Abbas took place a day after the American leader's historic visit to Jerusalem's Western Wall, the Kotel. Just a few hours after visiting the Western Wall, the background image of Trump's personal Twitter account was changed to feature a photo of the president with his hand on the Kotel. Trump also visited Israel's Yad Vashem Holocaust Remembrance Center on Tuesday for a wreath-laying ceremony, and enthusiastically pledged that he would never forget the Holocaust. Before departing for the Vatican, the next leg of the president's first overseas trip, which began in Saudi Arabia this past weekend, Trump gave a keynote address at the Israel Museum. He vowed to prevent Iran from attaining nuclear weapons and touted the possibility of a regional framework for peace, conditioned on the Arab world recognizing Israel's vital role in the region. The Palestinians are ready to reach for peace, and Benjamin Netanyahu wants peace, Trump said.
So I was preparing the bootwig in the kitchen, and I didn't hear the whole article, or just a few fragments of it actually. But I did notice that the speech engine problem was completely gone when reading this MSM fake media stuff. So this is all just to mislead the people. To depopulate Earth and create a Luciferian, totalitarian, negative dystopian global government. The CIA-controlled Project Mockingbird.
Main All News Foreign Affairs. Trump made no mention of two-state solution. Trump made no mention of two-state solution. Yeshua Council Foreign Envoy notes Trump did not call for two-state solution during remarks in Bethlehem. We hope this means we've moved on. Contact editor Talpol on May 23, 2017 1352. Share Trump and Abbas in Bethlehem. Trump and Abbas in Bethlehem. Reuters. Chief Foreign Envoy Oded Revivi of the Council of Judea and Samaria praised U.S. President Trump's statements in Bethlehem, noting that the two-state solution was not even mentioned by Trump, even though it and its companion concept of Israeli occupation had been extensively referenced by PA Chairman Mahmoud Abbas minutes before. The president didn't mention two states in his Bethlehem statements, just peace, said Revivi, who also serves as the mayor of the city of Efrat. We hope this means that we have moved on from this failed policy and will now work together to build true and lasting peace from the ground up. In his remarks, Trump said that he was committed to trying to achieve a peace agreement between the Israelis and the Palestinians, but emphasized that such an agreement could only be achieved when terrorism and violence are not encouraged. Peace can never take root in a place where violence is tolerated, funded, and even rewarded, said President Trump, in a not-so-subtle call to the PA, which systematically incites terror against Israelis, names streets and schools for them and pays salaries to imprison terrorists and their families on a sliding scale. The bloodier the offense, the higher the payments.
So that was the article on israelnationalnews.com, and for now I'll hang the microphone outside so you all can hear the birds. My cheap, what's it called? It's a thing to connect these older cameras to the PC. Is broken, the light on it doesn't come on, so they may have done that with wireless energy. And I don't have the software for the other one that we have somewhere. So I may have to buy a new one, and then I can show the other camera, the outside camera again. So for now I'm making bootwig, and when the picture show stops, then I'm talking again. So you can fast forward if you can reach that button. But it may be nice and healing to hear the birds and the wind, etc. The mic is now outside. Was Watch out, everybody. Synthetic telepathy. fucking mic. Just steal the microphone and take over. Hello, you all. I'm for universal peace. Because I don't want a 7-year nuclear winter. I'm back. I have new strength. The Bootwig, the Hüttenkäse, plus, well, at pumpkin seed oil, I have to buy new oil. Oh yeah, here, notice the Earth in the background. This is an official NASA picture. On the left is missing. But okay, let's put Universal Peace TV logo back. And time and date. It's like a timer. Very nice. HP, but it's not a timer, of course. It's current time. My anonymous broadcast. Okie dokie. Oh yeah, these are the police provocateurs. Dressed in ninja outfits, smashing the windows, dancing and and destroying the cancer tetracycle cop cars, police cars. And I say it for their own good, because the tetra devices give cancer to people. Oh yeah, we've already seen this, so let's go to my life thing I was kidding, of course. So lots of things in this broadcast are meant not to be taken too seriously, except getting that radiological water filter and storable food, peanut butter and rice, some peas as well perhaps, so you can survive your planned 2-state solution world war. It's quite easy if you're not in a big city, and it's just go into the cellar if you have one, so you are underneath the blast wave. But if you're not in a big city, then you might not even need that. So these nukes have certain targets. If a stolen nuke would go off, I hope they've made provisions that retaliation is not automatic when it's just one nuke. Because if it is, that would mean mutually assured destruction for everyone. So Alex Jones has talked about ISIS is Mossad and the stolen nukes. Okay, let's pick a pipe. I've covered it, so then I'm okay. And people that did not are not okay, you could argue. I think you're incredible, you're a wonderful being, and I wish you all a perfect society in which you all will live happily eternally. And I think there are many good people in the world, and you have to be a good person, intelligent person. If you're watching this, I think that you might be the real resistance to the Luciferian global government. And yeah, love is blindness, you too. That's what it's based on, the idea that love is eyes wide open. Eyes to the skies, being aware of your environment and stuff like that. Seeing also with your so-called third eye, not just with your but also with your real eyes, of course, looking around what's happening, and not being narrow-minded, but having an open mind, testing everything we learn. And I hope somebody catches these creeps that control these remotely controlled centipedes and hybrid insect microelectric mechanical systems. And that leads me to the fact that it's of course illegal to promote a global government, which would mean destruction of the US and other countries, which the American citizens have taken an oath about, to defend the country America, the US, against enemies foreign and domestic. So these people that want a global government are enemies. They've infiltrated the government so they can include presidents and what have you, prime ministers, etc. And I think we should arrest all members of secret societies, and the Jesuits as well, basically, but they control the NSA and the police and military, so they are higher in rank, and the police and military have to do what the pedo elite tells them to, and otherwise they're killed and tortured to death themselves. So it's not that easy when they have a death ray that can kill people instantly and control these centipedes to make my voice fade, and with through-the-wall radar, their FIPA array in Poker Flat, Alaska, frequency independent phased array antennas, and they're camouflaged, so the HARP facility was a fake facility open every 6 years to the public. I've covered the 6 moments of silence with the WTC thing, and that they have corrected the number of Jewish people from 6 billion to another number, but I still have to investigate that more. I've tried to find evidence that proves beyond any reasonable doubt that the Holocaust was real, but I ran into people that claim that it's fake, and with all the evidence that proves that it's fake. And to find out who is the dictator, you have to look at what is censored and who is censoring it. So let's they talked about in the chat about Antifa fascists. So it's almost like they have become each other, basically. You cannot have love without hate, happiness without sadness, etc. So loving something usually means hating the opposite. And all speech errors are made by their neural network to make you laugh at me, not with me, to isolate me and depopulate me. It's a smear campaign of these satanic pedophiles that have tortured my mother to death. So single ladies are welcome for the free shiatsu hand massage. I wouldn't invite you if I wouldn't believe or think that it's better for you than visiting some other people with AIDS out there that have frequent contacts. So Holly Johnson and Freddie Mercury were also good looking people, I think. Though I don't really know because I'm hetero, and I think that they didn't use colloidal silver, which can kill the HIV. Virus that causes AIDS, autoimmune deficiency syndrome or whatever. And of course they want to pretend I have it, so that's why they let me talk about that and about drugs and other things. It's all part of their smear campaign. So just remember that prescription drugs are leading killer in the USA. Hospitals are slaughterhouses nowadays, and the other one is medical errors are leading cause of death, and they're both in the top 10 of main causes of death. So And there's one source that claims that the T4 is an Israeli creation, another one that claims that it's not an Israeli creation. But if it's not, then who created it, basically? And does it matter who created it? Well, you could argue it does. If there are 6 Jewish people that want to depopulate the earth, I think that it does matter. And if people are brain controlled, then you're bound not to hear the truth about it from them. So everything you hear in your skull is always the neural network, the voice of God weapon, and it serves the pedo elite, not you all, and they're trying to play people out against each other. So as long as we don't let that happen, then that's not gonna happen. But the two-state solution, world war, I think will happen if they implement it and without any alterations to the agreement, avoiding the allies of Palestine and Israel from interfering if they go to war with each other. I can check out what this green ring that I'm wearing is. I checked it recently, so I should be able to remember what it is. It's not dioptase. And the green necklace Rambo wore was Jade Buddha or whatever. Green Jade, I think. And this is what it is, small device. In reality, this is cannabis oil. You just have to heat it, burn it with fire, and then it will give its special power to you. And organ cloudbusters are snake oil, okay? You don't need it. Don't know if you heard it, a fighting cat. So these meteorite impacts were not predicted by NASA. We didn't get any warning. The meteorite impact in Russia and in India, a man was killed by a meteorite. So what are we paying them billions of dollars for then? What the fuck are these people doing? Is kryptonite? So I could read the wiki article on the small divide thing.
Moldavite, Czech, Vltavan, is an olive green or dull greenish vitreous substance possibly formed by a meteorite impact in southern Germany, Nordlinger Rise, 2, which would make it one kind of tektite. They were introduced to the scientific public for the first time in 1786 as chrysolites from tin nad Vltavo in a lecture by Professor Joseph Meyer of Prague University. Read at a meeting of the Bohemian Scientific Society, Meyer 1788. Zip, 1836, first used the term Moldavite derived from the town of Mijdrecht, Czech, tin nad Vltavo, now in Bohemia, the Czech Republic, from where the first described pieces came. Moldavite's bottle green glass color led to its being commonly called Bautenstein, and at one time it was regarded as an artificial product, but this view is opposed to the fact that no remains of glassworks are found in the neighborhood of its occurrence. Moreover, pieces of the substance are widely distributed in Middle to Upper Miocene and Younger fluvial clays and gravelly sands in Bohemia and Moravia. In 1900, F. E. Swiss pointed out that the gravel-size Moldavites exhibited curious pittings and wrinkles on the surface, which could not be due to the action of water, but resembled the characteristic markings on many meteorites, boldly attributing the material to a cosmic origin. He regarded Moldavites as a special type of meteorite for which he proposed the name of tektite. However, for a long time, it was generally believed to be a variety of obsidian, because of their difficult fusibility, extremely low water content, and its chemical composition. The current overwhelming consensus among Earth scientists is that Moldavites were formed about 14.7 million years ago during the impact of a giant meteorite in present-day Nordlinger Rise. Splatters of material that was melted by the impact cooled while they were actually airborne and most fell in Bohemia. Currently, Moldavites have been found in an area that includes southern Bohemia, western Moravia, the Kep Basin, northwest Bohemia, Lusatia, Germany, and Waldviertel, Austria. 3. Isotope analysis of samples of Moldavites have shown a beryllium tin isotope composition similar to the composition of Australasian tektites, Australites, and Ivory Coast tektites, Ivorites. Their similarity in beryllium tin isotope composition indicates that Moldavites, Australites, and Ivorites consist of near-surface and loosely consolidated terrestrial sediments melted by hypervelocity impacts. 4. 99% of all Moldavite finds have come from the South Bohemian localities, 1% were found in South Moravian localities, only tens of pieces were found in the Lusatian area, near Dresden, Kep Basin area, West Bohemia, and northern Austria, near Radisson. Principal occurrences of Moldavites in Bohemia are associated with tertiary sediments of the Cesc-Bujavas and Treban basins. The most prominent localities are concentrated in the NWC strip along the western margin of the Cesc-Bujavas basin. The majority of these occurrences are bound to the Raps member and Koroski sandy gravel. Prominent localities in the Treban basin are bound to gravels and sands of the Diminon formation. In Moravia, Moldavite occurrences are restricted to an area roughly bounded by the towns of Trebek, Znojmo and Brno. The color of Moravian Moldavites usually differs from their Bohemian counterparts, as it tends to be brownish. Taking into account the number of pieces found, Moravian localities are considerably less productive than the Bohemian ones. However, the average weight of the Moldavites found is much higher. The oldest, primary, Moldavite-bearing sediments lie between Slavas and Trebek. The majority of other localities in southern Moravia are associated with sediments of Miocene as well as Pleistocene rivers that flowed across this area more or less to the southeast, similar to the present streams of Jihlava, Oslava and Jevizovka. possibly formed by a meteorite impact in southern Germany. The current overwhelming consensus among Earth scientists is that Maldivites were formed about 14.7 million years ago during the impact of a giant meteorite in present-day northern Rise.
Okay, that was totally off topic, but it's kind of hot in my room, so I think I'm gonna interrupt this broadcast for universal peace. Okay,